Hi, my name is Ezugwu. I am a marriage and relationship coach. I work with newlyweds, those who are in a serious relationship, engaged for marriage. I work with them so that they can have a deeper connection with their spouses. In today's video, I will just continue talking about the emotional need of a man, or what we even call the basic need of a man. And so the other time in my previous video, I talked about the 5 emotional needs of a man. So in that video, I talked about 3 things, which are sexual fulfillment, recreational companionship, and peace and quiet domestic support. Or simply put it, domestic support. So I've already discussed these 3 things. Today, we're going to continue on that video. And today I'm going to be talking about the remaining 3 emotional needs of a man. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to be talking about today is physical attractiveness. For many, physical attractiveness can be one of the greatest sources of love unit. In other words, it can be one of the things that they saw in you before they got married to you. So that is one of their things that make them happy. That is one of their ways they can generate love, right? So it means that for them, physical attraction or attractiveness is their number one or one of their emotional or basic need for them. And so if this physical attractiveness is not being maintained, they may tend not to be happy in their relationship. So for physical attractiveness, some people consider these things at the very beginning of the relationship. That's when they have it. They are so conscious about how they look, their appearance, right, to their partner. That is what they see, what they want to really maintain it when they are still in the dating period. But now what happens after the dating period, and now they are married, and they tend to learn or have known each other much more better. So they're going to slack back and say, what is the need of maintaining all these things? After all, I'm not looking for a husband. So that's one of the slangs we usually say. And then we don't tend to maintain one of those things that is very important to your spouse. And so that's one of the reasons why if he sees someone who is if he sees an attractive woman, he might tend to be distracted, because he's not getting those things in his marriage, right? And so that's one of the things I want to talk about today, and that's where your consciousness, we have to build it, that you don't just stop being or looking good. And let me just say that it's not about going out above your above and beyond your income, or or being stressful because you want to look good. No, it's something you do, not just something you do, your natural habit, but having that consciousness that I need to stay tight, I need to stay together, I need to really look much more better, I need to look better, or the way I feel comfortable in my body, right? Because I know that when I look attractive, my partner is really going to be happy. And so doing that is going to really maintain or solve a lot of problems in your relationship, right? The next one I want to talk about is one of the emotional needs of a man is, and that's number 5, is appreciation and admiration. So admiration is a fundamental component of a healthy and fulfilling relationship. You tend to admire your spouse. It goes a long way to build or enhances passion, intimacy, closeness. It values them. Okay, it involves recognizing and valuing your partner's qualities, achievements, character, and thereby fostering a deeper emotional connection and mutual respect. So it's something you have to really do every day in your marriage. And it's gonna be, you're going to show admiration by your words and by your actions. You need to be proud of him, and he also needs to be proud of you, right? Because for men, it comes at the top of their list. But for women, sometimes whether you appreciate or you admire doesn't mean that we don't know who we are, or it's going to affect our self-esteem and self-value or self-worth. We know who we are. But for men, sometimes it can be a big thing for them. Appreciation, admiration, and respect. These 3 things go together to really make a day for them. It helps them to have a better self-esteem, even to build a very good confidence. Okay, so you have to learn to admire him by the work he does, by his achievements, contribution to your relationship. when he makes mistakes, you correct him in love. That's one of the things that one of the things that allows us to live together in our marriage, right? Correcting each other in love and not by criticizing anybody. So you cannot criticize the person you tend to admire, tend to appreciate, tend to respect, tend to love, right? Those things, criticism will not be a better idea. So many of us deeply desire to be respected, valued and appreciated by our spouses. So especially men, because it helps them with their self-esteem and building confidence. So I want to just share a little story about really how this appreciation and admiration can really be felt by different individuals. So even though I said that men always like to be admired, more on their list is one of their emotional needs. Women can also have it. According to Dr. Halley, he said that this emotional needs is for everybody. However, the degree at which you need it differs. And so, in this relationship of one of my clients, she's very close to me. She just told me that my husband never tends to admire me. That doesn't mean that he doesn't love me. He loves her so much and he can afford any kind of thing she wants to wear or any kind of life she wants to live. But having that habit, of expressing that admiration to his wife is a very big thing for him. He has not learned it, he doesn't practice it, it doesn't occur to him naturally. So it's not his thing at all. So you are good the way you are. I don't need to admire you or say those things for you to hear them. I'm coming to him. But the wife needs it because it makes her feel okay that in private I am being appreciated. What I wear, how I put on, what I put on in my body, how I look, my appearance really matters to you. And I feel valued, honored, and respected when you can express how you love me or how I look to you, right? So for her, that is one of my emotional needs. But for the man, it's not his at all. It doesn't bother whether you appreciate him or admire him or not. And so the wife said, that's why in marriage you have to tend to live together with understanding. He said, I have already learned to accommodate him. I have already learned to live my marriage in that way because I know that it doesn't mean harm. It doesn't show that he doesn't love me, just that he doesn't know how to do it. And I can also, I encourage her that advice, you have to learn to teach him how to say these things. He has to learn it. Over time, he will get comfortable expressing those words of admiration to you. So it's something that we can experience every day. But you can say how important it is to that lady, to that one of my clients, so that next time if she goes out and an opposite sex a man begin to admire her, the way she looks, her dresses, her everything about her, even the way she walks, anything that happens, she may tend to be gravitating towards this person because knowingly or unknowingly, this man is meeting her emotional needs. And from that instant of opportunity, certain things can get loose. Certain things can begin to happen in your relationship. So that's how it looks so little, but it matters so much in your relationship. So why is it important to build or to have or to cultivate that habit of expressing or admiring your partner? Why is it important? One, it strengthens emotional bond. Expressing admiration reinforces the emotional connection between partners, promoting feelings of closeness and intimacy. It also enhances relationship satisfaction because you love him, he loves you, you feel you having that affection. That love language is always in his mouth to express love to you, and you want to keep hearing those things because those things really enhances the way you feel about the relationship. Number 3, why is it important to admire your spouse? It builds mutual respect. Regularly acknowledging each other's positive attributes foster mutual respect, which is so essential for building a healthy partnership. Very, very important. Don't consider it as a little thing, because if someone else tells her that or tells him that may be an open door for having an affair or other things to begin to pop up in your relationship. Admiring your husband or your spouse or your wife also promotes positive communication. You admire her, it encourages positive interactions and open communication in your relationship. thereby reducing a lot of conflict and misunderstanding. Because when we say these things, we laugh, we feel honored, and we feel valued. So it's so important. You just have to start to or learn how to say these things by your words. Okay? So, the next important things why we admire our spouse is it expresses appreciation and also a way of celebrating achievements. You have to learn to say these things. It's so important in our relationship. It helps us to be close to each other and begin to experience the love that we have for each other. And it deposits love unity in each other's life. We can practice this in so many ways. Practice gratitude. Thank you for what you have done. I love it. Thank you. You look good. I admire you. I appreciate you for doing this, for doing that. So many ways we can do this. It's an everyday life and common things we do, but we tend to neglect it and thereby not using it or doing it the way it should be done. Okay, so the next one is engage in a shared activities. Participate in activities that both of you can enjoy, creating an opportunity to appreciate each other's skills and interests. It's a way of communication, okay? When both of you are doing something similar or of interest to both of you, you tend to express those joy, those positive words, right? You tend to say it to him or her. Oh, you are good at doing this. Oh, you are good at this. You are good at that. These are the things that will make the marriage to last long. The next emotional need of a man is number 6, is the need for support and encouragement. In fact, I was the one that added this very one. I added this very one because I felt that it's so important when you hear the story I'm going to share with you in a moment. So a man thrives when he knows his partner believes in him and supports his dreams, his goals, his ambitions, and work activities. Right? I want to share this story with you. A client came to me saying that the husband is cheating on her in their marriage, and that is in a simple way, he is having an affair with someone. And so when I invited the man and we were having a chat, and the man told me that my wife is never interested in anything that concerns me. She doesn't know what happens in my life, how I move, how I go, even though we are living together in the same house. But she doesn't pay attention at all to anything that concerns me. And so he has learned over time to solve his problem by himself and not even share anything that is going on in his life. Now, fortunately or unfortunately for his wife, this man develops feelings for someone, a lady in his office who pays attention to him and who wants to know what is going on in his life and how she can suggest or advise him or solve his problem. And so over time, a relationship they began to develop relationship for each other, and they love each other, and they were in affairs with each other. And so it becomes a problem in the marriage. You can see, not paying attention to what concerns your husband because you feel that he got it. Everything he does is okay. He's a full adult, so he can take care of his life. He can manage, right? So paying attention to what concerns him, not just about you, right? You don't pay attention to the activities that is moving around him. It's really a problem. So they tend to give love or attention or develop a relationship with someone who might come in to solve that problem. And that was the case of this lady. So the story is now all a history, right? Because we try to resolve issues, but the deed has already been done. And so that's what it looks so simple, but it can really cause serious problem in marriage, right? So you cannot meet these needs that I've already explained here, all the 5 needs, or so to say, the 6 needs of that a man mostly needed in their life. That doesn't mean that is all, but one of these 6 needs are the basic. You cannot achieve all the things I have explained here if you do not have commitment. You don't know how to be committed in your relationship, you don't know how to sacrifice, and you don't even know how to serve. In other words, commitment, sacrifice, and service are the 3 elements that can really guarantee you and your husband meeting the needs of each other in marriage. You must do away with selfishness. That's another thing again. Selfishness is not just about you. It's about the other person. Prioritize your marriage over any other thing. Okay? You have to pay attention because a lot of time, not paying attention can really cause a lot of problem. to know what your spouse needs and how you can meet that need. Okay? Do away with selfishness in your marriage. Be open. Some people can be in a relationship, but their hearts are close to each other. They are not open to each other. And so the husband cannot access the wife, and the wife cannot access the husband. And they are living together in marriage. That is not marriage. You cannot move forward or guarantee the longevity of your relationship if you both are not open and available and present to each other in marriage. Remember, there is always the need for understanding, encouragement, and patience at different seasons of your life. Because what I need at this season of my life might change tomorrow in my next season. So you have to pay attention. Your eyes are open, you understand each other, you are communicating, you are actively involved to know when the phase of life changes and when different needs for your husband and wife changes in marriage. So you'll be able to strategize how to meet those needs at that time. Okay? Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I will see you in my next video.